Hi, this is Elisa Casella, and this is a short video to help you make your way through Module A. One of the first pieces that you will see is called the Fact Verification or Rubric for Module A, Context for Teaching and Learning. The purpose behind Module A is to understand your students, the community in which you teach, your site, resources available to you at your site and at your district. So it's getting to know and looking through data that's going to be helpful to you as you plan your lessons and develop your curriculum. The only portion for you to complete on this particular form is your name for participating teacher, to circle or otherwise highlight who your support provider is, circle or highlight your school site, and then here you type in the subject. That direction is also right here. There's a purpose given for the context for teaching, and we'll talk more about that later. What you'll find here is information that will help you. For example, these are the documents that go along with Module A for Year 1. For example, A1 class profile is one of the first ones you'll be dealing with. It's not necessary to deal with these in order, but just in order of explanation. Expectations. This helps you know what is it that we're looking for and that you will need to have available in terms of data that will be helpful to you later as you complete action research. So for example, this is the class demographics. This allows you to look at individual information about students so you can make decisions from where students sit to scaffolding and supports you may need. You do not fill in accepted or please resubmit. Once the entire information for Module A has been completed, you will upload everything for Module A along with this document, and the reviewers will then either mark this as accepted or ask you to resubmit more information. So we have class profile, classroom layout, school and district information, homeschool communication, site orientation checklist, community map, and then you'll see we get into something that's labeled and looks a little differently. E3.1 through E3.6b, these are called conversation guides, and we'll go into a little bit more detail as to those. So once again, this will help you as you're working through these to think about, well, what is someone going to look for in terms of being accepted, or will it be resubmitted back to you for more information? Class Profile A1 is a listing of specific students for only one of your classes. This can be any class you choose. You may want to select a class, for example, if you have a sheltered class, because you may say, this is the one I might look at first in terms of language level of students. Notice what's been highlighted. If your district or school provides this information in another format, make a copy and attach or insert it to this. We have ways in which to elicit information from Data Director. I will be helping you with that and sending you reports. So you do not need to complete each and every one of these boxes. However, you will need to review the documents you're sent and highlight different areas such as the special ed students who are in one class, different language levels of students in that one class. And you'll see this goes on for a bit, students with medical conditions. Students with IEPs, this is one where once you recognize that they are a student in special education, you will want to attach to this the summary of their IEP and highlight any accommodations or modifications that are required for that student. We'll continue on down here. We have a blank page. GATE students, English learners, again, the data that we give to you will suffice for this, so you will just be able to attach some pages to this. Now we get to classroom layout, A2. For classroom layout, this is how have you chosen to arrange your classroom in terms of where the student desks are, for example, in comparison to the whiteboard, where your desk is, but also where have you seated, for example, some of the special education students or certain EL learners. And here we have draw insert a photo, or attach a layout of your classroom. Please remember to include a rationale for the layout. So you can take a picture and insert it here. You could draw. What we need to hear from you, and this can be in the form of bullets, is why have you essentially set up your classroom in that way? So just to let us know, here are the reasons that I have decided to set them up in three blocks instead of one facing the front. School and district information resources. You have already received a great deal of this information. This we can help you with, colleagues can help you with in terms of what types of programs are on your campus, are there academies, things that allow you to become really familiar with what's going on in your school. A3, School and District Information and Resources. You do not need to complete this with a contact person and phone number. We can show you how to gather that in a different format, so you don't need to complete all of these boxes. Example, if your district school provides this information in another format, please attach it. Continuing on, Homeschool Communication Log, A4. This log is one that's designed to capture information about your contact with students, parents, fellow teachers, etc. However, please look at the highlighted portion. If you already have a system that documents homeschool communication, please insert that documentation here. For example, if you use a software program, please print out a portion of that software program so that we can see, oh, this is how this teacher is going to track the interactions and conversations that the teacher has had with parents or administration, etc., in order to keep track of what are the conversations that you're holding regarding a particular student. Continuing on, Site Orientation Checklist A5. Again, this is a checklist saying that you have received information based upon things like a staff roster, office procedures, staff responsibility, teacher evaluation process. Much of this will be found in the teacher handbook. You will also notice on this one, the site administrator needs to sign this. And this is so that should you need to have a conversation with the administrator, you can have that conversation such as, I think I understand the school-wide discipline procedure. It's found in the teacher's handbook. Any conversations you need to have with the principal, and the principal needs to sign this, so you will need to arrange a time to meet with your principal. Community map, A6, we will be providing you with much of this information. This is information such as where are the libraries, where are after-school resources for students, any type of demographics that we can provide to you, cultural centers. It's so you and the students know what's available in the community. Conversation Guide E-3.1, you'll see there's a description up here. Notice what's highlighted with your support provider. Many of these conversations take place in your one-on-one meetings with your support provider. Please attach the notes from these conversations to these conversation guides. Selected questions will be more specifically discussed as year one progresses. In meeting with your support provider, you and your support provider will have conversations, or a conversation that includes discussion of a number of these questions. What we will be including down here, this went on the second page, is a summary of the discussion. This can be bullets. This is simply one way to capture some of that information that are your responses to the questions. So as you noted, here is one that's called E3.1. This is class, school, district, and community. Another one is pedagogy, E3.5. This is based on the induction standards for pedagogy. We're going to scroll down to Universal Access Equity, E3.6. Teaching English Learners, E3.6A. Special Populations, E3.6B. What you will notice as you look at the due dates for different sections of Module A is that in fact there are sections. On September 20th, that is the last day that any Year 1 teacher can upload all of the Module A documents required that you've seen here. A statement of concern will go out September 24th if for some reason those documents are not received, and we can talk more about what that means later. So there is one date for you to turn in all the Module A documents. That's the last date. When you find these, you'll find due dates, and you'll find each of these as a separate document. And that is so that you, if you complete one, you could go ahead and upload it so that you're not scrambling to upload everything in one document on the final day. As always, if you have any questions, please contact your support provider. We're here to help you. We're going to work through these items with you, but this is an overview of the items so that hopefully they make sense as you gather data for your action research.